Top of morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If. It's called What If Deku Was Zillo Beast. So, now I'm gonna do what every Star Wars moderator says. In a galaxy far, far away. Hold on. In a galaxy far, far away, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka were called to investigate this new planet. So they, with Obi-Wan, takes charge. Now, will our heroes, with the pro heroes from My Hero Academia, can they accomplish, or would they not? Back to you. Okay, so they basically so they went to this brand new planet, like the moderator said. And so the pro heroes, My Hero Academia, with All Might and Endeavor and Midnight and Mountain Lady, went to this brand new planet. And it's called Zillo Lands. The Zillo Lands are we all know about Zillo Beast. It's this type. But they're a little bit bigger than Zillo Beast themselves. And so, let's continue. So they went to there, and they look around, and they see a lot of these big monsters are just walking like they were just minding their own business. So they were just they're not like hostile. But then Ahsoka, she needed some alone time. Because Jedi boys, or Jedi boys, except for Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker, doesn't even bother, so every other boy is just like, wants to ask her out all the time, and she gets annoyed by it, and guess who it is? Grapefruit Kid and Human Pikachu are just asking constantly her out. So then the next day or so she needed some alone time from them. And she has her lightsaber with her just to be safe. And so then she's like kicking rocks, but she saw some rocks before. And so these rocks were big. So she's climbing on them, not knowing that she's actually climbing on one of those Zillo Beast's backs. And so she woke one up, and it's our main protagonist, Zillo. As she gets off of him, as he looks over, he looks down at her, but he's not attacking. But instead, he's just walking away. Like he's not even paying attention to her. As she's wondering why is this one not attacking compared to the zillo beast that was long time ago. One. And she's follows it. As he sits down, relaxed. As many other creatures were, like many other female beasts that were basically grabbers, are the new type of species for this story. So, yeah. And I know that you guys are typing in the comments of this video saying, hey, if you're trying to do the episode of Star Wars, please do one better. But this is my version of Star Wars, the Clone Wars stuff. So she basically, all the female grabbers sees him, as they immediately falls in love with him. Like, they were like the female versions of Grapefruit Kid and Human Pikachu from My Hero Academia. Yeah. They were constantly asking him out. As he uses his big growl. Or his big monster voice. As they get scared off. As he sits down to just relax. As Ahsoka is just like, well, that's interesting. He's just like me. Maybe that's why. As she just realized that he is just like her. He's the opposite thing. Like, she doesn't know that he gets annoyed by a bunch of females constantly asking him. So, yes, I know. So, she goes back to camp. And then later that night, the female grabbers, went in to the camp and grabbed stormtroopers and were turning them into dolls, like Barbie dolls, putting them in pink tutus and, yeah, putting lipstick on the helmet and eyeliner. Man, that was too funny. Yes, I know. Well, so then Obi-Wan is just like before the attack. He was tucking in Ahsoka and he's like, maybe whoever, or maybe a right boyfriend for you would be coming. So yeah. So then she's like, yeah. But then after during the attack, or they thought was attack, but it was just like they were dolls, basically. And she sees one as the grabber was about to grab her. As she runs away, as she knows that the lightsabers would not work on the grabbers. And so she ran fast as she could. And so then, but out of nowhere, this big old zillo beast comes out of nowhere, hits the grabbers, and basically knocks them off the mountain. As he grabs the mountain before he fell off. Because, yeah. So then it's our main protagonist. So then he climbs back up. After he knocks some of the remaining grabbers to the ground. And then he climbs up onto there. As he looks down, as he reaches over, picks up her, walks her back to her camp, and they were like still stunned about this zillo beast creature just saved one of their monsters, and no need to do that. Look at that because it's not important. And he's just like, man, I think as he says, "You're welcome." The Obi-Wan's translated the monsters as Zillo Beast Zuko, or says with a soft growl, as Obi-Wan said, "You're welcome." That's a translated version. And so then, during that same night, after they went back to sleep, and plus the stormtroopers that were like, had pink tutus and had makeup on their masks, were trying to like figure out what to do, but little did they know, during that same night, he went back to the cave as he transforms back into his human self. He had a human appearance. Reason why is because when he was born as a Zillo Beast, special type one. And when he touched the most dangerous lightsaber in the world, it changed his DNA. So he basically gained a new form. So he's taller than, or he's basically the same size as Anakin Skywalker, and yeah. But he doesn't have a third arm. He just has two arms in his human form. So, yeah. As he's talks like a normal person, like he says this. Like he's been training most of his life. He says, like he always looks at the mirror as he says, "Hello. How are you doing?" And all that stuff. Because he never experienced what being human is. He's always been in his monster form because that's his. He was born as a beast, not a human. So this is new for him. So he lays in his comfy bed, and as he sleeps all night, or he tries and fails miserably, like he can't stop thinking about her because he's the same age as her. So yeah. Yeah, and so then the but he also knows that he has to keep the lightsaber safe because the if it falls into wrong hands, then the entire planet would be destroyed. So, yeah. But so the next morning, the next day, should I say, he goes and gets ready to go on a hunt. As the stormtroopers were just setting up their base of operations. As during that time, Ahsoka decided she can't handle, like, because she chose that zillo beast over every other Jedi girl or boy, sorry. And so she went out to confess her feelings. And so she was hiding behind the bushes as the zillo beast went up the tree, grabbed some corn and some mangoes with his 3 arms, as he's just like, okay, now maybe our new friends should be, as he roars quietly to himself, as he slides back down the tree, as he goes in to the camp, as he walks as he sees them, as the Obi-Wan and Skywalker were just ready to attack, but then he kneels down as he drops the food before onto the floor softly, not like slam it, but just and gives it to them. As he's like sitting, as they're confused, like, is he trying to offer something? As he soft growls, I think he's trying to serve breakfast for us. So then, yeah. So then So they spent couple days on there. And during the time, sorry, hold on. Yeah. During the time, she's like, he's being so nice to others. And so then, so she got very close to him, like in Bond type. As so far, all of the monsters were stayed away from the camp because he's there. And plus, they also stay away from the cave where he's roaming. So then, the next day, should I say, or next night, she wants to know. So she goes in to the cave. And she felt this weird energy surge. As she sees a blade on a table. As she says, "Is that a lightsaber?" As a deep voice says, "Yes, Ahsoka." That is. As she turns around, she was expecting like Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan, but no. She met him. My name is Zuko. Friends call me that around here. And I'm the guardian of the blade. This blade is too powerful for even rest of you to handle. So that's why I sealed it away. That big monster that you saw with earlier of this morning was actually me. And she literally, when she saw him in his human form, or in that form, her heart just like Bum 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 bum. Like she literally had heart in her eyes, with tongue sticking out. As yeah, and I'm not very good with talking around women or girls. The reason why I'm always had to use roaring is because one, they annoy me so much. They always ask me, "Are you single? Are you going to date someone? Come on, date me, get married to me," and all that stuff. So yeah. So then she understood that the roar was actually he, or she says, "You said, when you were roaring, you said back off." Yeah, I said that because it annoyed me. So then she gets back to the camp as Obi-Wan or Skywalker's like, "Well, did you find something interesting?" Well, yes. The monster that brought us like food earlier. Yeah. Well, his name's Zuko. The Zillo Zuko is his name. So he told me that he was the guardian of a sacred blade. But he's annoyed by the women. So I asked, what were those creatures that turned the stormtroopers into, like, or dressed them up? As, so Skywalker's like, well, what did he say? They're grabbers. They like to grab anything or anyone and use them as dolls. They won't hurt the person, but they just do, like, dress them up or play with them. That sounds scary. As he's trying to be all confident one, yeah. So, yeah, but what is his goal is to protect a. So then the next day, he grabs food again, but this time Obi-Wan asks him to see his human form. Okay, as he shows his human form, as the she gets a nosebleed with the pro heroes like Midnight and Mount Lady, where all the women that saw him were having bloody noses. So then yeah, as Obi-Wan says, "Is it okay with you if we can check out what you were trying to protect. As Zuko's like, well, sure. But your auras are good people. So as he comes along, as they went in, and they could feel the aura from the laser or the lightsaber. What is that? It's called a kyber saber. It's a most powerful, forbidden lightsaber in the galaxy. It could cut the planets. The only I have to protect it. If it falls into a wrong hands, it will be the end of all planets. So that's why. But we're good people. Yes. You have to prove your worth. Go ahead and touch it and to see if you are worthy. Okay? So then they touch it. As lightsaber doesn't react. So as the red color turns blue, all of them were good people. It's just like a normal lightsaber. It could retract as he puts it in his pocket. As he was about to say that's why. As Obi-Wan wants to bring him to the Jedi Order, or Hero Order. But he's like saying, I am not leaving it behind. Bring it with. So then, after they left the planet, then during the trip back to the Earth, the new Earth, should I say, Ahsoka gets really close to him romantically. Like when he's asleep in his human form, she kissed him on a forehead, and yeah, the blade reacted, but not out of trying to shield but it turned pink instead, as she never seen a pink lightsaber before, as it radiated a dome around both of them. As she doesn't know what it is. But when Obi-Wan did some research with Endeavor, it read that if it's pink, it has an aura that two people will fall in love. And it releases a gas that makes them both deeply in love with each other's. So then, yeah. After they get back to Earth, the new Earth, it was time for them, like, basically, they both got, like, basically a wedding planned out. I'm skipping this part because, yeah. So they both got married and had 2 kids. And, yeah. Now, Ahsoka is now the proud mother of 2 zillo kids. 2 zillo kids are, one of them is Solo, like Han Solo, and the other named Chicken Wing. And Chicken Wing is a female that she loves chicken. And then her brother is like Solo, like Han Solo, is a quick drawer. Like so quick that even people don't see the weapon gets pulled out of the sockets. Yeah. But they both have same thing as what their mother has. Force powers. And they can transform just like their father. Because he wasn't all human. He was a monster. He was born as a monster, but when he collided with the Star Saber thing, it changed his genetics to a much more human tone. And so before the Empire's thing, so he had to teach himself how to speak like a human language. All by himself. So yeah, now, normally this is the end of the video, but you see like these roll credits of like dun 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 dun, dun or something like that. So yeah, have a good night or day, depends on the time zones, and peace out.